It's Wednesday, and you know what time it is. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome and thank you for joining Hips News on another episode where we bring things hidden in plain sight. Today's episode, Vessel 2 and I will take a look at movies and music that predict, or better yet, foreshadow the future. Some of them, it goes as far back as the early 30s or late 20s. Vessel 2, do you have anything to say or say?
Thank you so much, Vessel One. Yeah, today's topics are once again relevant, even though some of the material might be a little bit of a flashback for those out there who are music fans. Some of the clips that we'll play today are very telling, and it seems like a lot of the stuff that we have seen growing up. Maybe at the time we saw it, we didn't really necessarily know what we were seeing, but sometimes it's good just to continue to dig in the crates and pull out old things that sparked our interest a long time ago, and we really couldn't understand it then, but watching it now or listening to it now will give you a better understanding on maybe why you thought it was something to be paying attention to in the first place. So yes, today will be a very interesting show, I believe. Vessel One, thank you for always spending time and sharing your thoughts with me.
You're very welcome, and I appreciate you as well, my brother. And again, the stuff that we're gonna look into is was only preparing us for what's happening now. It's very relevant. So stay tuned and stay with us as we go ahead and get this on the road.
All right. Well, since music is a common theme, no matter where you're at, music does grab your attention, and it's all in the beat. And this music seems to be in all kinds of genres of music, and I think they were pioneers and way before their time. Big ups to the Kraftwerk and the creativity that they had. It speaks for itself. One, I know you was nodding your head. I know you was nodding your head.
Yeah, you know it, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, Kraftwerk. Yeah.
This group has done a lot for a lot of people, man. They fed a lot of people. I didn't even know until you brought it up to me. Thank you, thank you. I recognized the music, but I didn't know where it came from.
Yeah. Kraftwerk, yeah, they are like you said, they're pioneers, and they was way before the time. The music itself was futuristic, and just like the title of that track was "Man Machine," and it was predicting, or better yet, preparing us for what was happening in the future, or the future, or now, to even be more specific. Uh, of the transhuman perspective, and that's on the cusp of what's happening at this modern day and age. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yes, that's true. Man Machine. This was even before the $6 million man.
Exactly. There you go. That's it.
Wow. Yeah, good find, good find. Yeah. Since music is how we're coming in, I think we should push forward and play another tune. I think that also uh, was very inspiring, and it goes on to the same theme as Kraftwerk when it comes to futuristic messaging.
Right.
Right,
Right.
right.
Agreed.
So break down the any information you know about this group. That's the
Well,
one.
this is yeah, this is a classic uh back in, I guess you say, back in the day, hip hop, but it's more or less uh, this group was mostly known for popping and locking music for those who was into breakdancing and such. And the name of the group is Newcleus, and they were known for several different songs, but this one here that we're bringing to everyone's attention is talking about how the computers will take over in the future. So sit back and tune in on this one.
Push the button, computer ages now. Everyone must have a machine. They say it's gonna make life easier. Well, I can't stand it, stand it, stand it. They say we should put them in control. Well, maybe this will give them a soul. I guess we must not think that we're gods. While we're listening to never, never, never. I know the Lord will not be too glad. In fact, I'm sure he must be quite mad to see us take control from our lives and give it to computers. For here we sit in our easy chairs as our machines decide how we're fair. Who will suffer, who will survive? It's up to the computers. Push the button. Push the button. Push the button.
I'm no longer in control. I can't program my machine. Now it wants to take my soul. Stop it all and will proceed.
Push the button.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly where we're at right now.
exactly.
Asking the
And
same
can you?
question.
Yeah, are we in control?
Or
Are
are
they in
they in
control?
control?
Yeah. Actually, that cut was came out was released in 1984.
Okay.
So that lets you know exactly how long ago they was predicting things was going to happen.
Or at least ask them the right questions.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah. So
You know, that's interesting throwback right there. Good find. Good find. Since we're doing flashbacks, we should just go way, way back. How about that? Go way back
uh, let's do
and
that.
and see how many classical musical fans we got out here. And I
Yes.
believe the music itself is very appealing.
There you go.
Well, shout out to Mr. Richard on the music production.
Yeah, that was very classical movie stands type of music. Yeah, it hit the right notes. Um, yes, Metropolis is a great movie. That's one of the classics that pushed the envelope of science fiction and also dealing with uh, what they perceive or foresaw to be happening in the future. And in that scene with the Maria's transformation was kind of heavy on a couple of levels because, of course, you could see it was a transhuman type ordeal, but at the same time, it was moving Maria's consciousnness into a robot. That's what it seemed like, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
right, and then as the process was happening, you could see the robot heart, and we can take that in different levels as the birth or the beginning of life or the soul um, beginning to glow, as you can see. And then the final act was that, yeah, the robot was conscious and had life. But the question still relies, although they took the consciousness and all the other parts of Maria, uh, does that machine have a soul?
Yeah, that's a good question. But uh, as you said, this movie is many layers woven into it.
Right?
So it could be the female Frankenstein,
Right.
how they, manipulated the man. Now you see how they manipulated the woman
Right.
into becoming something else. And then uh, she was uploaded mentally into the robot or into the
Right.
creature, into the being. But
Right. Right.
most of the movies that I give you, for example, The Matrix, everything was downloaded.
Right.
They were put into fake environments or real environments, but the information that they received when, for example, he needed weapons, or when Neo needed to, when he was learning the martial arts, all of that was downloaded.
Right.
So yeah, that's considering this movie is old and they were saying things would be uploaded, is what I saw. And
Right.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then
Is that
the only uploading that we know is once we transition supposedly and the spirit leaves the body.
there you go.
So they're still on that concept of, okay, well, as long as I'm assuming, as long as it's being uploaded into whatever they want it to be, formatted wise, hopefully they'll catch the spirit as well,
Yeah. There you
right?
go.
But
Yeah.
as you said, the question is, does it got soul?
That's all. There you go.
Ah,
But Rakim said he know he got it, but does that machine have it?
right.
Is that
Does it
a?
got
But
soul?
would you consider? Quick question: would you consider that AI, or would you consider that a transformation of a being to or transhumanism?
Maria?
What does that? Yeah. What
What
would
would
that
Maria
consider?
be? Man,
Yeah.
I couldn't say necessarily AI, because we don't know, or was it a robot, or was it more or less of a alien creation who needed a
Well,
boost,
well, that's true too.
right? Because I don't know
Actually, yeah.
at that time were they. I would have to go back and watch the video one more again, but as from what I saw, I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be a robot or a alien.
Well, no. If the movie itself, Metropolis was actually it was a whole city that was the concept was the city itself was advancing towards the future, and
Right.
there's other scenes in there that shows that how there were other things that was taking place or that supposed to take place in the future, but
Okay.
the scientist himself, I believe that he created that android or I guess it was a robot,
Robot.
and yeah, because yeah, it was something that he created, and he
Okay.
was transferring
Right.
something,
Right.
or
So then,
trying
yeah.
to.
I mean, if it was meant to be a robot, and then at the end she became the face of the robot, right? That's what it was.
It's that's the big question about that movie. That's why it's so deep because after Maria that was on the table,
Right.
the machine was called Maria. So
And it had her
again,
face, right?
it
And
had her face
the
and
face
her
was
consciousness.
full of, well, I don't know about the consciousness, but it had her face, and the face was full of life, colorful, even if it was black and white, but it was full of life,
Right.
and it kind of looked like she was possessed.
Right. Well, yeah, of course.
But I like I said, I'd have to go back and watch the movie, but from what I saw and how I took it was the key is the upload.
Right?
And the question is still remains is okay, once she was uploaded and the physical Maria is no longer, was her consciousness and her soul uploaded into this new being?
Mm.
And I don't know the answer to that, but it did come alive and it had her appearance, heavily gifted or wrapped around its form. It looked like her, but
Right.
only time will tell what man's creations will end up doing. It looked like
Right.
her.
There you go. Right.
Yeah, it looked
Right.
like her.
Right.
And they
But
do have clones now. So I
right.
believe
Exactly.
it happens. And yeah, that was deep, man. That was deep. And what brings that to mind
Was it
now
right?
is when we was growing up, it was a common theme.
Mm-hmm.
We would hear the word test tube baby.
Little test tube, baby.
Made in the lab. Made in the lab.
Right? Right?
That's it. That's it. That's it.
And now we eating beyond burgers and beyond meat. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
really crazy.
It's wow. Yeah. And again, Metropolis came out in 1927.
But yeah, let's get back into this possible ifs. If you would meet a Maria in 2021, would she be like this lady?
There is, of course, a well-known and documented connection between sex and violence. Not so much a causal effect, but a general state of neurological arousal. And after having observed your behavior this evening and my resultant condition, I was wondering if you would like to have sex.
With you.
Mm-hmm.
Here. Now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Great! I'll be right back.
Love boat.
There you go. Now just relax. We'll begin in a few seconds.
Begin what?
Having sex, of course. What's wrong? He broke contact.
Contact? I didn't even touch you yet.
But I thought you wanted to make love.
Is that what you call this?
First sex has been proven to produce higher orders of alpha waves during digitized transference of sexual energies.
All right, Oxley, what do you say we just do it the old-fashioned way?
Ew, disgusting. You mean fluid transfer?
I mean, Boney, the wild mambo, the hunka
That
chunka.
is no longer done. The exchange of bodily fluids, do you know what that leads to?
Yeah, I do. Kids, smoking, a desire to raid the fridge.
The rampant exchange of bodily fluids was one of the major reasons for the downfall of society. After AIDS, there was NRS. After NRS, there was UBT. And one of the first things that Dr. Cocteau was able to do was to outlaw and behaviorally engineer all fluid transfer out of societally acceptable behavior. Not even mouth transfer is condoned.
Kissing's not allowed?
Oh.
Damn, I was a good kisser.
Oh.
All right, what about kids?
Procreation?
Yeah.
We go to a lab. Fluids are purified, screened, and transferred by authorized medical personnel only. It is the only legal way. What are you doing?
Breaking the law.
You are a savage creature, John Spartan, and I wish you to leave my domicile now.
In...
Wow. I got more questions than I have answers to that one.
You are a savage, John Spartan.
And you heard what they said. We just got through talking about it. How you procreate in the lab.
In
That's
the
two
lab.
babies.
In a lab. But yeah, that the movie just said it, you know. Children would be made in a lab. No bodily fluids are allowed to be passed amongst each other any longer due to the fact that it was killing society. Yeah. So do you think we're there? Do you think we're at that point?
Well,
Little test tube, baby.
not to get too deep into it, but yeah, we definitely on the outskirts, if not breaking barriers to that idea. Last year, like you mentioned, with the COVID and the situation, people was really worried about coming in contact with people, you know, sneezing, coughing, spreading fluids, and then this is probably one of the reasons why they was telling people to wear masks and stuff to keep people, away. And then on top of that, they want to have people stay home, again, become antisocial. So yeah, that was just probably one of the beginning themes that they was trying to do, along with the understanding of the ideal of this concept of virtual sex, transhumanism, LGBT, one sex ordeal, keep things in control, not having any ideal of I guess the traditional male female way of doing things. So even Stallone was like, "I'm a good kisser." When she asked him about sex, he was like straight up, yeah. So I mean, to take that away and you're only virtual having sex and not being physically in contact with a person. Yeah, I think it's on its way. They trying to make it happen. If you don't mind, I really enjoyed this part of the show. We'd like to have your final thoughts.
I want to say thank you to all the people who have took the time out to listen. Hopefully, we have brought to the table information, ideas, concepts that have you thinking for yourself. We all are in a place where being silent and standing still is probably what's best needed for us to be at. Everybody, please be safe. stay virus free. Keep your head on a swivel and stay in your square. Peace.
Peace.